Hi, and welcome to episode number 13 of Get Involved Pittsburgh here on PCTV21 and 47. My name is Tom Baker, and I'm your host of Get Involved Pittsburgh. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Hope you're looking forward to enjoying the next hour together. We've got some great guests on the show. This is our 13th episode of Get Involved Pittsburgh, so hopefully it'll be a lucky one. We do have a great cast of characters that will be sharing their expertise with you, their insights, and their ideas on how you can get more involved here in Western Pennsylvania. We're a Jefferson Award-winning television show, which is a great thing, and things are definitely going well for Get Involved. Our nonprofit organization, Get Involved, Inc., provides training programs. We have the Fast Track Community Leaders Program. We have 30 graduates of that program now. We do the monthly Power Hour series, the monthly Morning Mix series, and also the annual Service Summit. We're going to have the 4th annual Pittsburgh Service Summit coming up this spring. We just had the 2nd annual Harrisburg Service Summit in South Central PA, and this spring as well, we're going to have our first ever Washington, D.C. Service Summit. So we're taking the Get Involved show definitely on the road. Our cast for today's show, we're going to have Lindsay Smith, Emmy Alaquiva, Marissa Doyle, R.J. Thompson, Seth Corbin, and Ali McMurtry. So it should be a great cast here. The main goal of the show, though, is really for you to find more ways to give back, to make a difference in our region. Big believer that there's no reason to ever be bored in Pittsburgh. That's something that I've believed my whole life since I was 5, 6, 7 years old, literally going from event to event in our city with my dad, who was a public school teacher. He was Albert Einstein, the mascot of the Pittsburgh Public Schools, and that's Albert with an O-W-L, Albert Einstein, and just always enjoyed being involved with him. He passed away, sadly, when he was 39 years old, when I was 12. I was very lucky, though, to have a mom that stepped up to the plate, literally, and she became a Little League coach, a Pony League coach, and a Colt League coach. She was a cool mama then, and she definitely still is. So that's really what the show is all about, is being out there, being quirky, being yourself, and we always bring you guests who have a lot of terrific stories to share about their experiences. All right, thank you very much to Seth Corbin, our 3rd guest here on episode number 13 of Get Involved Pittsburgh on PCTV 21 and 47. Our 4th guest today, Emmy Alaquiva, one of the coolest people in Pittsburgh, an Emmy Award winner. I think it's this is historic, our first time having an Emmy Award winner on the show, so welcome to the show.
Wow, you're funny, man. It's great to be here.
Yeah,
it's
so
great to be here.
Congrats on all the good things. We're going to talk a little bit about Empowered in Pittsburgh, which Emmy is one of the co-authors of. He's next to me, so you automatically make me look you're much cooler looking than me, so it's
fresh.
Tough to be in between you and Ashley.
Tuxedo.
But that's the tuxedo, right?
Yeah.
So congrats on all your success.
Thank you,
I want to start off.
it.
Oh, sure. I want to start off first, though, with Hip Hop on Lock.
Yes.
The name of your chapter is Music Saved My Life, and I think with all that you do with music, Hip Hop on Lock.
The stakes is high.
The stakes is high, right? Absolutely.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about Hip Hop on Lock and the work that you do as the founder of that organization.
Yes, Hip Hop on Lock is an arts education and mentoring program that uses hip hop as a tool to educate and empower young people from kindergarten to 12th grade. What we do is, the premise of our program, we have an 8 to 10 week program in which we create almost like a mock record label where apprentice meets making it a band, where we team up with a community organization and we select 7 to 10 students to create positions for them, executive positions, as if they're in a mock record label. And over the 10 weeks, they create a music CD from conception to completion. They make all of the creative decisions. They learn the foundation of hip hop, about the 4 elements as it relates to math, science, and literacy. And they just really go in a state-of-art recording facility to create some incredible subject matter that is from their perspective. Of course, it has to be positive. You can't come in shooting and killing 30 people in the first verse.
Yeah, and they're very positive.
Robbing 8 banks. You know what I mean?
They performed at our 3rd annual Service Summit this year. They did a great performance. I've seen them so many times in the community. They're always doing a great job.
Absolutely.
So positive, too.
Yeah. I mean, just everywhere. You know, music definitely matters. It's what saved my life. So, you know, over the 10 weeks, they meet with professionals that are in the field. They meet with a professional graphic designer, a professional photographer, a professional videographer, a filmmaker, and they create their own music videos. They come up with the treatments for their own mini documentaries. They design their own album cover. And also, one of our key components is what's called a throwback. Throwback often is associated with a song, you know, your mom and dad used to listen to, but in Hip Hop on Lock, a throwback is where the students throw back their talent in the form of community service. So whether it's, you know, reading books for kindergartners, if it's, going to a senior citizen's home and spending time with them, they have to throw back their talent in the form of community service. Then at the end, they have a graduation ceremony where they receive certificates of completion, of course, and they perform in front of friends, family, and the entire community.
Right.
And this is just an incredible way for our young people to really have something tangible that they create and that they're responsible for. A lot of times when you think of hip hop, you think of what's on VH1, BET, and MTV, but hip hop was created as an incredible form of expression, of course, starting with the inner cities in the Bronx, New York City, but has really reshaped the world. It's changed my life from the circumstances that I've been faced with, and it was just my duty to be able to give back to our community.
Yeah. And that's what you share in your chapter. The stakes are high. I mean, you share that your story,
high.
right? You talk a little bit about your mom's house, and by your mom's house, I mean literally your studio.
Like literally, at my mom's house, I cut grass for months and months, and shoveled snow and saved up a little bit to create my own little studio. Back in the day, and people used to call my mom's house, this was before cell phones and iPhones and things of that nature, and just crack jokes. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get in your mom's house and bang out for all night to record, and you know what I mean, and things of that nature. And my mother is the Harriet Tubman of my life, so naming a multimedia facility after her in her honor, it just proves to be the right thing, and it stuck. When I first started Your Mom's House, everybody, looked at me like I was crazy.
And it's right above Shadow Lounge, right?
It's right above the Shadow Lounge, 1,500 square feet of nothing but comfortable recording from down home. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Your mom's house.
So I let it, and probably a lot of people watching at home are thinking, I started off by saying how you won the Emmy.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Tell us a little bit about that experience. I know you do so much different work, but what was that process like? What was the project you were working on that got you the Emmy?
I was doing so much soundtrack work for PBS. When I started, I did a hip-hop soundtrack, for a documentary that PBS done. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is warm and fuzzy. Yeah, this is cool. We appreciate it. Yeah, pat me on the back. And then they had another project where they said, okay, well, we'll test you a little bit. We have a documentary about something else, but we don't necessarily want hip-hop music. So I did that, knocked it out the box. Then there was a documentary about Pennsylvania Dutch kitchens. So here I am specializing in hip hop, created a soundtrack that absolutely, had nothing to do with hip hop.
Right.
But I created a soundtrack for a Dutch documentary, and it was just, they were blown away, by the talent, and I appreciated that so much, where they gave me an opportunity to tell the story of the Tuskegee Airmen of Western Pennsylvania. The Tuskegee Airmen, of course, they had the obstacle of fighting two wars in America back in the 40s. Of course, fighting the war of racial injustice, and of course, fighting the war overseas. So they said, all right, we're going to give you an opportunity to tell their story through music. We're going to tell their story optically, but we want you to tell their story sonically. So I studied that era of music for days beyond days, and really was inspired to create something that ranged in all types of emotion. Right. Sad emotion, triumph, trials and tribulations, and sort of bottle that up into a soundtrack. And I stayed up for 3 days straight, January 4th through January 7th of 2008.
Okay.
After coming back from New York City, seeing the ball drop.
Yeah.
And I work with, individuals like Coulter Harper, Sean Jones, trumpet player, Bianca Atterbury, Richard Hutchins, and we created a soundtrack. And once I turned it in, I thought, okay, cool, well, maybe I didn't do the best. But, a few months later, they said, hey, listen, the Tuskegee Airmen soundtrack is nominated for an Emmy Award.
Yeah.
And
How did that feel? That's like one of those once in a
Yeah,
lifetime things, right? Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't believe it. And as a matter of fact, I didn't believe it so much to whereas I didn't even attend the Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
Someone actually called and said, you won
Wow. Okay.
an Emmy for the Flyboys Tuskegee
Yeah,
Airmen
that's amazing.
soundtrack.
That's very cool.
So yeah, that was amazing.
And the work you're doing with Hip Hop Unlock, also award-winning. I think your students and you won a Shine Award last year,
Oh yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
all kinds of different awards.
Yeah,
but
they won multiple awards. But you know, again, it's not about the awards. It's about the movement.
Yeah. And Hip Hop Unlock is such a positive movement. I mean, just from getting to know your students through Lockdown Radio, Michael Curry, who I think is in college now, but the whole crew there. And you probably still remember my mom called into your show. And
of course.
She called in with her favorite song from the 1990s, which was Tupac's Dear Mama.
Why not?
right,
Why
right.
Not? Yeah.
You're like, Mama Patty's on the phone. She loved that night.
You can't suppress hip hop.
You can't, no.
Hip hop is one of those genres where you can put everything into the pot and come out with something. So, you know, when we started Hip Hop Unlock in 2007, we only serviced 16 students. You know, this year alone, we service over 2,000 throughout Western Pennsylvania, and we do that through 11 school districts.
That's awesome.
With branch programming, we have an interactive radio show. We have an interactive television show as well. So we are putting together the pillars so that our youth could build a foundation that's needed to look towards the future.
That's what it's all about. That's awesome.
What it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on all your good work. Great job on your chapter in Empowered Pittsburgh. You did an awesome job as always. Maybe you can just share with our viewers at home a little bit about how to keep in touch with you and learn about Hip Hop Unlock. And
yes, absolutely. You can reach us, info@hiphopunlock.org. You can also visit us online, hiphopunlock.org, yourmomshouse.com, and Alaquiva.com as well.
That's right. All right, that's it. That's very good. All right, well, great job. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, congratulations on all your success.
Cool.
That was Emmai. He's the man. So I hopefully you enjoyed that. All right, he's been dropping a beat for us now. I like it. I love it. I love it. So we'll be back in just a minute with our fifth guest here on episode number 13 of Get Involved Pittsburgh. Marissa Doyle from the mayor's office is going to be back in just a minute to share with all of you watching at home. Thanks. I love it.